I'd like to apologize to the Bitcoin community, but I'd like to apologize to the XRP community. And yes, I'm also a little sorry to Solana. And I'd love to find ways to build bridges and work with them, just like we're building bridges and working with the Bitcoin ecosystem. And then finally, I'd like to apologize to the Cardano ecosystem as a whole. It's been a difficult go. The reason I created Cardano was because I wanted to leave something behind that made the world a better place for everybody, everywhere. I wanted to move to a world where we go from don't be evil to can't be evil by design, so we can begin to trust each other again, and through trust, we can make progress again as a society. And I have no doubt we will construct the most advanced and effective, efficient, and highest integrity governing structure ever in the history of humanity.
Since Election Day, the best performing crypto assets are all U.S. companies or U.S. technologies. We went from 2.2 trillion to basically 3 trillion. So this was an $800 billion unlock just because we now are going to have rational actors who act lawfully.
So the question is then, okay, where does the price go? It's easy to project that it's a double-digit number. So, I think it immediately shoots up to a $10, potentially $20. It's got to cover kind of all the money. And I think you're looking at a range that XRP would settle somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000 a coin.
Welcome to the show and happy Saturday. A lot going on. Bitcoin seems to be breaking out and headed potentially toward the top of the rising channel at the time of this recording, which is around 100K. So times are changing, things are different. And one of my favorite leaders, thought leaders, speakers in the space, Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, he couldn't have said it better. And I think he accurately reflects the change in tone as to why there will be a changing of an entire world order. Nothing is going to be the same ever again. In my previous video, I spoke about how Gary Gensler was hinting at stepping down, and Trump is already starting to fulfill, it seemingly, some of the promises he set out for the crypto world. Now, with a very strong leader comes the potential to pivot, to admit that you've done wrong, and to fix that and remedy it and be the bigger man, which Charles Hoskinson has done, now apologizing to the Bitcoin and XRP community and even Solana. He believes that instead of driving wedges between each other, we should now try to join forces to rise together. And that is exactly what we're seeing with Bitcoin OS, that now DeFi can be brought to Bitcoin via Cardano, which is absolutely incredible. And he's just saying, like, things are changing, and I might have spoken ill about these projects in the past, but it's time to move on.
There is one thing that unites us. We're still Americans. And I'd like to believe that we both want this country to succeed. This election, I fully appreciate, has been very stressful for many Americans who felt that the wrong candidate won. And I do believe that if we come together on both sides of the aisle, that we can get to a crypto policy that makes sense for the entire United States and for all of our businesses here.
Now he has a very different tone, which is amazing because it reflects also the new presidency. He says, I know a lot of you weren't happy about what the president who came in. Some of you voted for him, some of you didn't. But now it's time to make crypto a bipartisan issue instead of one that drives a wedge between the two. And it looks as though everybody is uniting at record speed, with RFK Jr., now the head of Health and Human Services, and Vivek and Elon Musk in charge of the DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. We're entering the dawn of a golden era, an era in which everything is going to have to be more transparent, more free, more equitable, in a society that goes from don't be evil to can't be evil. In order to foster trust again as a community and to make progress as one, at least in the cryptocurrency sphere, it's looking like people are becoming more united than ever. And Bitcoin, XRP, and ADA, Cardano, are literally the trifecta. I mean, things are going to heat up, and they're going to heat up fast. XRP has been beaten down for years and years and years in the midst of lawsuits and all kinds of terrible things from the government. And now suddenly everything has changed at the drop of a dime. We even have Valhil Capital coming out and saying that XRP could be worth between $10,000 and $35,000 when regulation comes to fruition and when it becomes the world bridge currency. Now, those are pretty far-fetched numbers if you ask me. I'll be happy if XRP hits $10 this bull cycle, which I know Digital Dave, Crazy for Cryptos, I'm in his group, and he posts a lot about XRP there, and he's been posting about XRP for years. And it's just one of those things where it could go to $10 or it could go to the thousands. We really don't know how this is going to pan out. But suddenly there is potential here. Suddenly there is no limit. There is nothing hindering it from doing what it's supposed to do. So it'll be interesting indeed. I do hold XRP. I'm actually buying more. It just broke out. I will show you a chart here in this video again on XRP. But I think XRP will have a phenomenal bull run, along with Cardano and along with Bitcoin, the trifecta that will set the world stage. And Charles Hoskinson is literally hinting at forming a part of the advisory to the government on cryptocurrencies. The reason why I chose to play some of these clips from Charles is that he's just such a visionary in the way that he thinks about the future. I'm humble enough to explain that we are all better off because of Bitcoin and that they have created something magical, although he attributes his frustration to Bitcoin maxis who don't believe that the space exists outside of Bitcoin. And now he's ready to move on, but in the best of ways, to move forward toward a bright future where all of the blockchain ecosystem can flourish, where potentially cryptos that come back to the US or are based in the US are zero tax capital gains. I mean, things are changing so quickly, and we need to be prepared on this channel. And finally, don't forget this message from him, which is excellence comes from the habits that we build each and every day. Just want to remind you guys of that. Everybody who tunes in and day out to my channel, to other channels, who's trying to find information, trying to better their lives, trying to go toward that financial freedom for themselves, for their families, this is what will make you win in life. So I'm so happy to be on this journey with you. I cannot wait. And so without further ado, I'm your host, Megan Nilsson, aka Crypto Megan, and let's get right into it. So jumping right into it, we love to explore the Jim Cramer inverse signals, and here we have, there is no way Cardano is going to $10. There you have it, guys. Your signal, that's your signal to pile in. No, but really, I mean, he's seriously gotten everything wrong in crypto that he's ever said, it feels like. So just the fact that he's saying it will never go to $10, that is one of my bull run targets for Cardano this cycle. If things get really heated, if he starts really working within the government agencies and really becoming an advisor, and Cardano becomes a bigger part of this overall ecosystem, I mean, sky's the limit here. Sky's the limit, and big things are on the horizon. I am sure of it. He actually just went to Argentina, and this is an article in Spanish from Forbes, but I can just translate a little bit for you because I live in Spain. It just says that he's Trump's new crypto advisor, which is sending ADA on a tear, and that he just visited Argentina. So it's not official news yet, and he's made that clear in his YouTube, but people are speculating that he could form part of that sort of group that helps with the legislation, which is massive. And here we have the Bitcoin chart. As you can see, it's starting to break out. At the time of this recording, it may be higher now or lower, but it's just right around 90,000 and breaking out of this symmetrical triangle. The measured move out of this triangle to the upside is just below 100K, guys. So we are right there. Things are heating up and getting very exciting. I believe Cardano is still at a good level to average in. I'm still averaging in. I hold Cardano from under 5 cents, so I'm a long-term holder. I have one portfolio that I will sell this year, this cycle, and another one that I'm holding for long term is the potential Amazon, of crypto, and I have a couple in that bag. So ADA is one of them. And let's re-go over what Trump has stated that he'll do. Trump's agenda for the crypto industry. I've never been so bullish on anything in my life. XRP. And so Trump's goals here are to create a strategic national Bitcoin stockpile, fire the SEC chair Gary Gensler, name a president advisory council on crypto regulation, stop work on central bank digital currency, and foster stablecoins, digital tokens that are pegged to the dollar. I mean, this agenda couldn't be better. It couldn't be better. It's everything we could have ever asked for, and it's astounding that we're getting it this soon. This soon with Trump's presidency. I mean, I thought this was quite a ways off, but it's crazy how everything can change at the drop of a dime when the administration changes. And XRP has been on my radar for several cycles, and it's just been at accumulation level this entire time. It's not hardly done anything. And in my last episode, I said, the rubber band is coiling, and when that shoots off, it's going to shoot off hard, and it's starting to break out now. It's starting to wake up as people start to realize that suddenly all these lawsuits and everything XRP has been through, which Charles Hoskinson went over in detail in his video, is suddenly not there anymore. So what's stopping XRP from ripping? Absolutely ripping. So we're going to go over that in this episode. But first, here's a chart. It broke out from this symmetrical triangle to the upside. And the measured move here is all the way at $1.60. And then we'll see from there. But things how they are, I'm fairly certain it's looking like XRP, at least it's possible to break all-time highs and beyond, potentially a $10 XRP for this cycle. But we're going to look at even more exorbitant price predictions than that from Valhil Capital in a minute. So these are the interim price targets. And now, breaking. A study by Valhil Capital just estimated XRP true market value is 3.5K to 22K with a max value of 500K plus. How can they even say this? It seems insane, right? But somehow that's what the model came up with. So it says here, 6 quantitative models were built using various industry accepted approaches. Assumptions varied, but it all assumed that XRP Ledger will be a widely adopted layer 1 to move global value. Wow. I mean, this is big. The future for XRP is bright regardless. It's finally starting to wake up. Will we get $10 XRP, $500 XRP, or in the thousands? Time will tell. But for now, my sights are set on $10. So let's see. Jimmy Valli, managing director of Valhil Capital, thinks that XRP could be worth between $10,000 and $35,000 per coin after regulations and after it's determined to be the world's bridge currency. So that's the key here, the world's bridge currency. If that happens, is the only way we may see these exorbitant prices.
That could be resolved in a variety of ways, but it could also be resolved in regulation coming in over the top. We know it's imminent, though, right? So when I say imminent, I would be surprised if a quarter from now we're really still embroiled in the SEC lawsuit, because I think the state of affairs throughout the world is such that we're going to need a solution like an XRP for liquidity purposes sooner rather than later. So the question is then, okay, we've magically resolved it. Where does the price go? It's easy to project that it's a double-digit number. So I think it immediately shoots up to a $10, potentially $20. The wild card to me is that there is actually a deal to be done among the central banks and governments to basically have XRP work as the world's bridge currency, a neutral asset that could be traded between the central banks to move a specific type of fiat to another type of fiat. If that's what occurs, it's back to what we were discussing earlier. It's got to cover kind of all the money. And I think you're looking at a range that XRP would settle on agreement. So this would happen instantaneously, somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000 a coin. And wow. Our lives will be, maybe the same, maybe different. I don't know. Probably a little different.
That is wild. I mean, he's saying if XRP handles all money in the world, and that's what we use for our cross-border payments and settlements, that could send it to astronomical heights, as we need lots of liquidity then involved. And yeah, it looks like it's all happening. I mean, it seemed like that was a very, very, very far out possibility when we had SEC. Well, I'm still thinking when we had Gary Gensler, he's still there, but it seems like he's going to resign based on what I showed in my last video. He did some sort of seeming resignation letter after 18 of the US states are looking to sue the SEC for wrongful lawsuits and all the harsh regulation they've been doing. So yeah, things changed so quickly because Trump is now in power and all of these changes are happening. So it's really cool to see that now actually it feels like it is a possibility. Let's check this one out. Still one of my favorite classic Ripple moments. The train has left the station. The reason why I joined the Ripple board is one of the few cryptocurrency options out there that has a credible and legitimate use. She might just be right. And now it's a legal use, right? Now it's regulated. now it's not going to be deemed a security. Now it'll be able to reach its full potential.
About cryptocurrency as a form of currency.
Well, I think the train's already left the station in terms of cryptocurrency. You may or may not know that I just joined the board of Ripple, and the reason why I chose to join that board, it's, in my opinion, one of the few cryptocurrency options out there that has a credible and legitimate use. So financial institutions use it to settle cross-border payments.
About cryptocurrency.
So it's one of the few that has a legitimate use, at least in the traditional financial world, and that could bring a lot of liquidity into the space. So definitely on my radar. I definitely hold XRP. Let me know if you're from the XRP army and you've been standing strong all of these long, hard years. Kudos to you. I mean, you've made it, man. I mean, this is the cycle where XRP shines for sure. And then we have John Deaton here. So he is a former candidate, U.S. Senate. He's a former candidate, U.S. Senate, founder of Crypto Law U.S., managing partner at Deaton Law Firm, and he has undertaken this lawsuit, okay? Very proud of the fact that on January 1st, 2021, 9 days after the Ripple XRP case was filed, I sued the SEC, claiming the Ripple XRP case was filed in bad faith and the case could be the beginning of a jurisdictional land grab by the SEC. Jay Clayton met with Gary Gensler the day before filing the case and then filed it as he walked out of the SEC forever. I'm also proud of filing the motion to intervene and being appointed the amnesty counsel in the Ripple case on the behalf of token holders. It's been a long 4 years. So this is cool. Like, John Deaton is fighting our battles, guys. We should be really, really grateful to John Deaton for everything that he's done. And as he says here, I mean, this is so telling. Jay Clayton met with Gary Gensler the day before filing the case and then filed it as he walked out of the SEC forever. I mean, that's got to speak volumes, right? You slap this lawsuit up the day you're leaving or the day before. Why? I mean, bad faith. And it's so good to see that vindication, that everything is coming to fruition now and that things are being set right, that justice is being brought to the cryptocurrency space. And good for you, John Deaton. We're all grateful to John Deaton. XRP found support. We finally broke out of that 6-year pendant. We're about to make up for all the lost potential from the last bull run on top of this bull run. People are getting super bullish on XRP, as they should. And then you've got, of course, Larry Fink talking about BlackRock. The next step going forward will be tokenization of financial assets. 2025 will be the year of tokenization. So 2025, RWAs, institutional liquidity, XRP fits right into that scheme and perfectly at that. So I don't doubt that this is the trifecta, Bitcoin, Cardano, and XRP, that could absolutely take everything by storm this cycle. I mean, we'll shock everyone, right? That XRP has just been like the meme coin, it's almost a meme coin now, that it's just a dead chain that doesn't do anything. The same thing has been said about Cardano, and suddenly now there's Bitcoin OS, and suddenly now DeFi can be plugged into Bitcoin. I mean, these innovations don't happen overnight. They take time. And so if you're a holder with a long-term vision and an investor in these projects, then stick to your guns, keep your conviction going as long as nothing changed fundamentally. And although profit taking is important, I believe it's important also to place your bets on the horses you believe could win the race for the very long term. And it seems like XRP has a real shot here. So let's start with this cycle. Let's see how it goes. Cardano is already starting to prove itself, and Bitcoin, without a doubt, at above 90,000 now. Who would have thought? And finally, a tribute to Cardano. Cardano is the most secure DeFi infrastructure in the world. There have been 0 exploits to Cardano smart contracts, and with 3,000 SPOs, the possibility of a shutdown is 0%. It's obvious why powerful countries and trillion-dollar assets are both moving towards Cardano. $10 ADA incoming. Yeah, so basically the message here is good things take time to build. They aren't built overnight, and contrary to some belief, like on my last Cardano video, it's not always about who's the fastest to build and breaking things along the way. Sometimes things need to be built to stand the test of time, and that is slow. It's slower than most people like, realistically. And now all the patience is starting to pay off. I think it's going to be a phenomenal bull run for all 3 of those assets, and so many more, especially the ones made in the USA, are coming back to the USA. So that's all I got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Happy weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.